The old Victorian mansion loomed before Sarah as she approached, its weathered facade casting long shadows in the fading twilight. At 17, she was no stranger to babysitting, but something about this house made her skin crawl. The owners, a wealthy couple she'd never met, had left strict instructions: keep the children downstairs at all times, and make sure all doors remain locked. Sarah took a deep breath and stepped inside. The floorboards creaked ominously under her feet, echoing through the cavernous entryway. She found the children, Emily and Michael, playing quietly in the living room. "Hi there," she said, forcing a smile. "Who's ready for some fun?" As the evening wore on, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Shadows seemed to flicker at the edge of her vision, disappearing when she turned to look. She tried to focus on the kids, but her unease grew with each passing hour. While preparing snacks in the kitchen, Sarah heard a soft thud from upstairs. She froze, straining to listen. Silence. Then Emily's small voice piped up from the doorway. "Miss Sarah, there's someone in the closet." Sarah's heart raced. "Don't be silly, sweetie. It's just your imagination." But as she turned back to the counter, the closet door slowly creaked open. Sarah's breath caught in her throat as she peered inside. Empty. Would you have stayed after that? Sarah considered calling the parents, but when she reached for her phone, the screen was dead. The landline gave nothing but static. A chill ran down her spine as the kitchen lights began to flicker. Suddenly, a series of soft thuds echoed from the second floor. Sarah's eyes darted to the living room, where both children were sound asleep on the couch. If they were here, then who or what was moving around upstairs? With trembling hands, Sarah grabbed a flashlight from a drawer. She knew she should stay put, but curiosity and fear propelled her towards the staircase. The wooden steps groaned under her weight as she ascended, each creak setting her nerves further on edge. At the top of the stairs, Sarah's flashlight beam revealed something that made her blood run cold. Tiny handprints, too small to belong to Emily or Michael, trailed along the wallpaper. They led to a door she hadn't noticed before, a door that was firmly locked. As Sarah reached out to touch the doorknob, a whisper of icy breath brushed against her ear. "I've been waiting for you," it hissed. Sarah whirled around, her scream caught in her throat. The hallway was empty, but the air felt thick with malevolent energy. She bolted down the stairs, scooped up the sleeping children, and fled into the night. The next morning, police arrived to find the house completely abandoned. Records showed it had been empty for decades, with no recent owners or tenants. Sarah's terrifying account spread quickly through the town. Some dismissed it as the overactive imagination of a teenager, but others weren't so sure. On stormy nights, locals swear they can still hear a young woman's frightened voice carried on the wind, warning others to stay away from the house on Elm Street. But our story doesn't end there. Years later, a paranormal investigation team decided to explore the infamous mansion. Armed with cameras and EMF detectors, they hoped to uncover the truth behind Sarah's chilling experience. As night fell, the team set up their equipment throughout the house. At first, all seemed quiet. Then, around midnight, their devices began to malfunction. Batteries drained inexplicably, and cameras captured orbs of light floating through empty rooms. The lead investigator, Mike, decided to venture upstairs alone. As he reached the second floor, his flashlight flickered and died. In the darkness, he felt a cold presence brush past him. Suddenly, a child's laughter echoed through the hallway. Mike fumbled for his backup light, his hands shaking. When he finally illuminated the space, he found himself face to face with a door he swore wasn't there before. Tiny handprints covered its surface, still wet as if freshly made. Heart pounding, Mike reached for the doorknob. It turned easily in his grasp. As the door swung open, a gust of frigid air rushed out, carrying with it the faint sound of a woman's scream, a scream that sounded eerily like Sarah's. What Mike saw beyond that threshold, dear viewers, is something he refuses to discuss to this day. The footage from his body camera was corrupted, showing only static. The team left the house in a hurry, vowing never to return. To this day, the old Victorian stands empty, a silent sentinel holding onto its dark secrets. Locals give it a wide berth, and real estate agents refuse to list the property. Some say that on quiet nights, you can still hear the sound of children playing and a young woman's desperate pleas for help. So, dear viewers, I ask you, would you dare to spend a night in the haunted house on Elm Street? What secrets do you think lie behind that mysterious locked door? And most importantly, do you believe Sarah's terrifying tale? If you want to hear more bone-chilling true horror stories like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know when the next spine-tingling tale might appear in your feed. Remember, sometimes the most frightening stories are the ones that could happen to anyone, even you. So the next time you're asked to babysit in an unfamiliar house, think twice before saying yes. You never know what or who might be waiting for you behind closed doors. Until next time, sleep tight and don't let the shadows creep too close. This has been another true horror story, brought to you by Okura. Subscribe for weekly news stories. Sweet dreams if you can have them.